Greetings, my motor enthusiasts. Fasten your seatbelts because today we have a shocker for you on F1 Motor Fever podcast.
Hello, Enzo. I'm intrigued. What's the breaking news?
How about a seismic shift in Formula One? Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, moving to Ferrari.
Blimey, Hamilton in a Ferrari, you say? That's shocking indeed.
Yes, and that's at the age of 40, defying his earlier statements about retiring from F1.
Gosh, and to think he was always so adamant about finishing his career with Mercedes. I'm curious, what led to this surprising decision?
Well, it seems talks between Ferrari and Hamilton commenced after a breakdown in negotiations between Ferrari and Carlos Sainz.
That must have left Mercedes in a bit of a spot, eh?
Undoubtedly. They were in the dark till 36 hours before the official announcement.
And any word on his replacement?
That's the million-dollar question. George Russell is a strong contender, but Mercedes might look for a fresh face.
Interesting times ahead, indeed.
Hey everyone, this is Enzo, your well-informed guide to all things Formula One. You're tuned into F1 Motor Fever podcast.
And I'm William, your resident expert commentator.
Fantastic to have you here, William. Now, for all our listeners, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of excitement with us. Ready, William?
At your service, Enzo.
Brilliant. Let's put the pedal to the metal. So let's delve deeper into this surprising move. Lewis Hamilton, our eminent 7-time world champion, has decided to move to Maranello for his first season with Ferrari at the ripe age of 40.
Indeed, if we cast our minds back, Hamilton always insisted he could never see himself racing in F1 past that age. And yet, here we are.
Absolutely, a stark contrast to his recent declarations. In fact, he was quite vocal about spending the rest of his racing career with Mercedes.
Seems like he's taken his own advice from a recent BBC Sport interview. He said, "I think what you've got to learn is you should never say never."
Yes, words to live by. This move to Ferrari came about quite suddenly. Until 3 weeks ago, Ferrari was in talks with Carlos Sainz to extend his contract.
But Ferrari president John Elkann's discovery that Hamilton might be available must have tipped the scales.
Currently, Hamilton finds himself in a rather tricky position. The world, and indeed his current employers, know where his heart truly lies.
It's a déjà vu moment, reminiscent of Fernando Alonso's decision to join McLaren. Like Alonso, Hamilton has signed a contract while still having a year left with his current team.
It's a brave move. He's expressed his intent to seek a new challenge, and the legendary Ferrari appeal must have played a part.
Few drivers can resist when the prancing horse, F1's most famous and evocative team, comes calling. It's a testament to the allure of the Ferrari legend.
Now, one element that might have swayed Hamilton's decision is financial. With his Ferrari contract, he's likely to regain his status as F1's highest-paid driver, which he lost when Max Verstappen signed with Red Bull until 2027.
I see. So we're talking about a deal somewhere between 50 million and 70 million euros a year. That's roughly between 42.7 million and 59.7 million pounds.
Precisely. But there's more to it than money. Hamilton was seeking a longer-term commitment from Mercedes, but had to settle for a shorter deal. It seems he found the promise of a longer tenure in Ferrari.
To be honest, I didn't quite follow. Could you explain that another way?
Of course. What I mean is Hamilton might have been looking for a sense of security, a guarantee of a longer stay with the team. It seems Mercedes couldn't offer that, hence the move to Ferrari.
I see. So it's not just about financial gain, but also about stability in the long run.
Yes, exactly. Hamilton, after all, aspires to an 8th world title. He must believe that Ferrari can help him achieve this goal, especially after the contentious race in Abu Dhabi in 2021.
But this is a risky move, isn't it? Ferrari hasn't won a driver's title since 2007.
Absolutely, there's no denying that. But perhaps Hamilton sees something we don't. Only time will tell. Now, Hamilton is acutely aware of Ferrari's recent trials, including the controversy surrounding their engine back in 2019 and their subsequent struggles.
Hold on a moment. Wasn't there also a series of operational errors and reliability issues in 2022 that led to another implosion?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Ferrari seemed to have started strong with Leclerc, but they couldn't maintain that momentum due to these issues. Nevertheless, Hamilton's move is a major triumph for Ferrari and a strong endorsement for their new team principal, Frederic Vasseur.
Vasseur, the straight-talking racer, he's been in the game for a long time, hasn't he?
Correct. His racing management experience spans from the junior categories to Formula One, with stints at Renault, Sauber, and now Ferrari.
And it's not just a professional relationship between Hamilton and Vasseur, is it?
No, it isn't. They have a history together. They worked in tandem in GP2, the predecessor of Formula 2, when Hamilton clinched the title in 2006. They've maintained contact ever since.
It's a similar story with Leclerc, right? He debuted under Vasseur at Sauber in 2018.
That's right. Vasseur has an uncanny ability to forge strong relationships with his drivers, which must be a comforting factor for Hamilton. Interestingly, Vasseur also happens to be close friends with Toto Wolff, Mercedes team principal.
Well, despite all the friendliness, I don't suppose this move has gone down smoothly with everyone.
You can say that again. On top of all this, Ferrari and Mercedes were in a nail-biting battle for second place behind Red Bull in last year's Constructors' Championship. It's a tangled web, to say the least. Now Mercedes faces more question marks as they head into 2024. They did make progress last season, but their flawed car design might prove a limitation. The intriguing question is whether they have fully grasped the new rules and can compete, or whether they will continue to languish in Red Bull's shadow.
A tough situation indeed. Hamilton's departure will certainly be a blow.
Yes, it leaves them in a difficult spot. They now have to replace, arguably, the greatest driver in history at short notice. And with all the established powerhouses committed elsewhere, it's quite the predicament.
So, who are the potential replacements?
Well, funnily enough, I heard a rumor that they're considering a return of Michael Schumacher.
Blimey, you had me there.
Just pulling your leg. On a serious note, they'll have to consider their options very carefully. They might need to look beyond the recognized top-tier drivers, as most are already committed for 2025.
And what about Ferrari?
Ferrari, on the other hand, now boasts potentially the strongest lineup on the grid with Hamilton and Leclerc. Their team is starting to look reminiscent of the formidable Hamilton-Alonso partnership 17 years ago.
Leclerc is indeed one of the stars of the new generation. Many consider him to be the fastest driver over one qualifying lap.
That's true. Although he's still a bit of a rough diamond in races, he's showing enormous potential. The pairing of experience and youth in Ferrari is certainly something to be excited about. This new pairing at Ferrari is formidable indeed, and it's sure to cause quite a stir up and down the pit lane.
It's bound to be a thrilling internal battle. Hamilton is known for his competitive spirit, but Leclerc is no pushover.
Absolutely. Two of the greatest names in Formula One history, Hamilton and Ferrari, have come together in a partnership that is as riveting as it was recently unforeseen. It's like a match made in motorsport heaven.
It's a partnership that not only brings together skill and experience, but also carries with it a rich history and tradition.
And let's not forget the extraordinary potential of this partnership. With the resources and legacy of Ferrari and the unparalleled driving prowess of Hamilton, the stage is set for some truly spectacular showdowns in the upcoming season.
And the entire world of Formula One will be watching, that's for certain.
William, have you had a chance to have a butcher's at what the online chatter is saying about all this?
Indeed, I have. Listen to this. Billy from London posts, quote, Lewis Hamilton to join Ferrari for 2025 Formula One season, unquote.
Oh, what's the reaction like?
A user, Hungry Morty, quips, quote, Lewis really just tested the new Merc and signed with Ferrari, unquote. And Sexion adds, quote, imagine if Ferrari builds a title-winning car for 1 year and Charles misses out because Lewis comes along and takes the title that 1 year. Given Charles's luck, I'll actually bet on something like this happening, unquote.
Anything else catch your eye?
Yes, Siostas interestingly remarked, quote, you either retire or you drive long enough to race for Ferrari, unquote. And Cron, in response, made a twist on that saying, quote, "You either retire a hero or drive long enough to see yourself become a Ferrari driver," unquote.
Ha, now that's a classic. Anything else to add to the mix?
Well, there seems to be a lot of speculation and humor. A user named Pot8o optimistically says, quote, "My hopium says he's tested the Merc. It's great. Wins a title this year. Then joins Ferrari to tick the racing bucket list to retire from F1, unquote."
Hopium, I like it. Any final thoughts from the commenters?
Yes, one more from Racktrick, who wrote, quote, "BBC say Mercedes has hastily announced an all-team meeting at 2 p.m. Imagine official announcement will be after that, unquote. To which Don't Send Me Your Cat humorously responds, quote, "Toto's going round the factory smashing desks," unquote.
Well, it appears the world is as caught up in this as we are. It's all quite entertaining to say the least. That's all we have for today, folks. It's been a pleasure to dive deep into the thrilling world of Formula One with you, discussing the exciting prospect of Hamilton joining Ferrari. If you've enjoyed our banter and insights, please do subscribe and don't forget to activate those notifications. Share our podcast with your friends, your family, your neighbor, and even your cat. If you have any thoughts or views on the topics we've discussed, do drop us a comment.
And don't forget, we're here every day at the same time, same place, bringing you the best of Formula One. And trust me, we've got some cracking content lined up for you in the coming days.
Indeed we do, William. And on that note, we'd like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, our loyal listeners. We eagerly look forward to the next episode and hearing more of your thoughts.
Absolutely, your engagement makes this all worthwhile. Remember, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold.
Couldn't have said it better myself, William. Until next time, take care, folks.